Parsha Shmini. This shmuz is adapted from a Goin Reb Chaim Ephraim Zaychik, Zecher Tzadik Livrocha. Generally, when people get together to do something together, and it doesn't work, it's not matzliach. So what happens? Generally speaking, everybody blames the other one. It's the other person's fault that it didn't work. It's not my fault. The other person's fault. And on the other hand, if an asek is matzliach, if things work out well, then generally speaking, everybody says, "Oh, it's because of me. What I did, I made it matzliach." It's hard to say it's my fault that it's no good. When it comes to a fault, it's somebody else's fault. That's the way, generally, we understand people to react. But if we look into today's Parsha, in Parsha Shmini, we'll be able to see the way tzaddikim react totally the opposite. It says in the Torah that it came, the Shmona Shemei Miluim, Vayihi Bayom HaShmini, on the 8th day, the day when the Kohanim were inaugurated to be the Kohanim that only Aaron HaKohen and his sons had the right to bring the karbonos. On that 8th day, they were supposed to bring, Aaron had to bring karbonos, and the Bnei Aaron had to help him, and the Ziknei Yisrael were there. Kora Moshe la'Aaron u'Levonov, the first pasuk in Shmini. Kora Moshe la'Aaron u'Levonov u'Ziknei Yisrael. They should all bring the karbonos so that Aaron will be able to offer them. After that, in pasuk Chav Gimel, it says, "Vayovei Moshe v'Aaron Elohel Moed." Moshe and Aaron came into the Ohel Moed, the tent of meeting. And Rashi explains, why did Moshe and Aaron go into the Ohel Moed? The karbonos were not brought in the Ohel Moed. Why did they go in? And Rashi says, he brings two reasons, but we're working on the second reason first. The second reason, period. On pasuk Chav Gimel, Lama nichnesu, Rashi says, why did they enter? Why did they enter the Ohel Moed? And he says, Dover Acher, another reason, Aaron saw that all the karbonos had been brought, and all the acts of the Mishkan had been performed. V'lo yorda Shechina liYisrael. But the Shechina, the divine presence of Hashem, had not descended. No fire came down from heaven. And Aaron was saying, Yodei ani, Rashi brings down, it's Chazal, Yodei ani, I know, Shakos HaKadosh Baruch Hu alai, that the Rebbeinu Shalom is angry with me because of his involvement with the egel, with the golden calf. Uveshvili lo yorda Shechina liYisrael. I know that it's my fault. The Shechina, the divine presence of Hashem, did not descend. So Moshe said to him, No, so Aaron said to Moshe, look what you have done to me. I entered, I did the service, I did what I had to do. V'nisbayashti, and I became embarrassed because the Shekhinah did not descend. And I feel terrible, and it's all because of me, of my involvement with the Egel. Miyad nichnas Moshe imay. Immediately, Moshe Rabbeinu entered with Aaron into the Ohel Moed, and they davened, ubikshu rachmim, they davened, v'yorda Shechina liYisrael. Then the Shechina came down to Israel. That's why it says, vayovei Moshe v'Aaron el Ohel Moed. They both came, they went into the Ohel Moed because Aaron said, I feel terrible, I'm nisbayashti, I feel terrible. That is because of me, the Shechina did not come down. And that prompted Moshe to go with Aaron into the Ohel Moed, and bikshu rachamim, they sought mercy from heaven. V'yorda Shechina liYisrael. That's what it says in the pasuk. Vayovi Moshe v'Aaron el Ohel Moed vayetzu. They went out. Vayevorchu es ha'am v'yera kavod Hashem el kol ha'am. The glory of Hashem appeared to the entire people. So we see that Aaron felt so terrible because of me. It was my fault. See, in today's day and age, you ever hear somebody say it's my fault? It's always somebody else's fault. It's never my fault. And we continue. Rashi, a little bit further. It's actually the next Rashi, when it says in the Pasuk, Vayetzu, Vayevorchu es ha'am, they went out and they blessed the people. And Rashi brings Chazal and speaks further and says that Lefi shekol shivas yemei hamiluim, Moshe Rabbeinu, all the 7 days before, they were involved in putting up the Mishkan 7 days earlier. Moshe Rabbeinu did it himself, and he put it up. He dismantled it, and he officiated in it. The Shechina did not rest. So, Chazal continue, V'hoyu Yisrael nichlomim, Israel was ashamed. And they said to Moshe Rabbeinu, we went to Kol HaTorach shetarachnu, we went through so much trouble. We built the whole Mishkan, and we got ready all the kabbanos. All the trouble we went to, Shetishcha Shechina Beinenu, that the Shechina should come down. V'neida shenischaper lanu avreinu egel. Once the Shechina will come down, once the fire will come down from heaven, then we will know the sin of the egel was atoned for on our behalf. So here also we see the way Yisrael, the way the members of Klal Yisrael was saying it's their fault. We made an ego, and the Rebbeinu Shalom is not forgiving, is not giving us kapara, is not forgiving us. We worked so hard, we did it. So they're also admitting their faults. So we found Aaron was in the beginning, the previous Rashi, Aaron was saying it's my fault, and they're saying no, we're nisbayashti v'nichlamti, that the Shechina is not coming here to forgive us. And what did Moshe Rabbeinu say? When they said this, therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu said to them, Zeh hadovar asher tziva Hashem tasu. Hashem said you should bring get ready all these karbonos. And he says, Moshe Rabbeinu concluded and he said, Aaron ochi kedai v'choshev mimeni. When giving credit, that only Aaron could bring the Shekhinah. When Aaron is involved, when Aaron is offering the karbanos, Aaron is involved. Aaron ochi kedai v'choshev mimeni. Aaron, my brother, is worthier and more important than I. Shal yidei karbonosav, for through his offerings and his service, tishre Shechina bechem, the Shechina will rest among you. V'seidu, and you will know sha'amokim bochaboy. You should know that the Rebbeinu Shalom said only through Aaron could the Shechina be brought down. So we see here the opposite of what people, as we started to say, that people in today's day and generation, when it comes to faults, it's not my fault. The opposite. Aaron was saying it's my fault. And Klal Yisrael was saying it's my fault. And now when it comes to giving credit, everybody in today's day and age wants credit for themselves. Because of me, I did this and this. That's why things are working out. That's why we're being matzliach. And here, Adarabba, Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, Aaron is more chashuv than me, more important than me. The Rebbeinu Shalom says only through him will the Shekhinah rest among us. So this is perhaps a lesson that we should learn. Midas Toivos, to be able to admit to faults, when we do something wrong, to be honest and be able to admit to faults. And not to be afraid to say the truth. That's my fault. I did something wrong. And when it comes to something going right, don't take the credit for yourself. Look what Moshe Rabbeinu said. Moshe Rabbeinu said, Aaron ochi kedai v'choshev mimeni. Aaron is worthier than I, more important than I. Shal yidei karbonosav, through his offerings, you will know that the Shekhinah will come down and rest among us. So this is the contrast. This is the difference between people of the world that can't say it's my fault, that could only take credit and glory if something goes right. If something goes right, they want to declare credit and glory for themselves. And here we see just the opposite. By Gedolim and Tzaddikim, and this is the way of the Torah. And this is something perhaps we can all learn. Don't be afraid to say the truth, to say it's my fault. And when somebody does work together, we do together, and things work out well, don't say it's because of me everything is working out well. But be honest enough to say that it's because of him things are working out. The Eibishter should help us. We should be zeicha to have this humility and to have this truth and live a life according to the Torah people, the Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron and Klal Yisrael. We should be zeicha to this. Amen v'yamen.